Today we'll discuss about Isha Upanishad. Isha Upanishad has got 18 slogas and we will try to understand what is the essence of these 18 slogas today. Isha, the name itself says the God, the creator. So this Isha means there are two types of creator. One is the God who creates the whole universe, another is the God, the soul, who creates this physical body. The slogas, the first sloga, it says about the Supreme Soul, the God, who is the creator of everything. And it says the whole universe is the creation of God, and because it is the creation of God and it belongs to everyone, we should not have greediness. We should not covet wealth and become greedy. And it also says to renounce, to act without any attachment and live a happy life. And the second sloga says the person who lives a detached life without greed and attachment, he lives for 100 years and he can live a long life without any desire for the result of actions. Then it says the people, the person, the souls who lives with attachment, attached to the senses, attached to the external possessions, these souls after death reach a world of darkness. In the sense, there will not be the light of soul, the light of consciousness, when we are possessed with the thoughts, feelings and emotions of this world. Then it says the self is one, unmoving. It moves swifter than thought. The senses do not overtake it. So it means the soul is the master, the king. The senses cannot overtake the soul, for always it goes before. Then it says, remaining still, it outstrips all that run. All that run in the sense the mind, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions. So the soul is the king, and the king is always the ruler. Without the self, there is no life. Without the soul, without the self, there is no life. For the ignorant, the soul seems to move, seems to be moving, but in reality, the soul never moves, it remains stable. It is the mind, it is the thoughts, it is the feelings which makes the soul seem to be disturbed. But if we remain a detached observer, we remain unaffected by the thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And one place it says, it is within all and it is without all. It is within all in the sense, wherever we see, wherever we think, whatever we think, there is self-awareness. And that's why it says it is within all. Because whatever we do, whatever we see, whatever we think, it is the self which does everything. So the self exists everywhere, wherever you are, whatever you think. And the self in all beings hates none and it is without all. So it never hates anyone. In the sense, the self in its pure consciousness, it never hates anyone and it is without all. Because the self in its purity, it need not have to get engrossed, get lost in your thoughts, feelings and emotions. It can remain detached with all the thoughts, feelings and emotions. So it remains without getting attached, and at the same time in its original pure consciousness, the self hates none. So to the illumined soul, the self is all. For him who sees everywhere oneness, how can there be delusion or grief? To the illumined soul, in the sense, those who are self-aware, wherever they see, the self exists. They never lose the consciousness of self, whatever they do, whether they speak, whether they hear, whether they write, whether they talk. So the self exists all the time, everywhere, being self-aware. For him who sees everywhere oneness, how can there be delusion or grief? So when you are self-aware while performing all the action, while thinking, while speaking, then you cannot have delusion or sorrow, because you are constantly aware of your own self. So here it says the self is everywhere. In the sense, wherever you are, you remain self-aware. So the self exists all the time, every time and everywhere you are self-aware. Bright is he, because when you are detached, you are alert, you are bright. And since you are detached, you remain bodiless. You remain detached from your body consciousness. Without scare of imperfection, without bone, without flesh, pure, untouched by evil. Because when you are pure in self-awareness, you are untouched by evil, the lust, anger, greed, attachment and ego. So the seer, the thinker, the one who is above all, the self-existent, he it is that has established perfect order among objects and beings from beginningless time. So this self, the ruler, is the one who had created order in this life, in this body and the whole universe. The Supreme Soul created the order for the whole universe, and the individual soul create orders in the whole human beings. And it is because of that order the body functions properly under the control of the soul. So it says here, to darkness are they doomed who devote themselves only to life in the world. When we are just get lost in the five senses and the physical activities, then we are doomed to the darkness. And it also says, to a greater darkness they are doomed who devote themselves only to the meditation. In the sense, just becoming self-aware, you are not performing any action, good action, then there is no purpose in leading a life. So whether you are self-aware or not, the action has to be performed. But with one condition, when you perform action, you have to remain self-aware. You should not just renounce the action, but you also perform action with self-awareness. So here it says we have to do both. We have to engage in worldly actions. At the same time, we have to engage in spiritual endeavor. So either one, if we are performing, then it is not a proper life, proper way of living. So that's why here it says, those who devote themselves both to life in the world and to meditation, by life in the world overcome death, and by meditation achieve immortality. So it says, to darkness are they doomed who worship only the body, and to greater darkness they who worship only spirit. Worship of the body alone leads to one result, worship of the spirit leads to another. So have we heard from the wise. They who worship both the body and the spirit, by the body overcome death, and by the spirit achieve immortality. So the next sloka says, the face of truth is hidden by your golden orb, O sun. That do you remove in order that I am devoted to truth may behold its glory. In the sense, the self-awareness, it is covered by the illusions, and even the illusion, it is not something external, it is created by the sun itself, by the light itself, by the self itself. So it is not material actions, the physical actions are against the self-awareness. We have to understand the actions of this world, at the same time we have to understand the spirit. So both the knowledge is required, and with meditation, with self-awareness, we have to perform the physical actions. So both are recommended by the wise. It says, O nourisher, only seer, the controller of all, the soul controls the whole body, the supreme soul controls the whole universe. So it says, the seer, the one who sees, the soul, the one who sees, the one who controls everything. O illumining sun, the sun is referred to the self, fountain of life for all creatures. So when we say it is fountain of life for all creatures, we meant the supreme soul, the Isha, the God. So the God is the creator of the whole universe, organizing everything, Similarly, the God, the self, the soul also organizing the individual body, the function of the individual body. So I behold through your grace your most blessed form, the being that dwells therein, even that being am I. Let my life now merge in the all pervading life. Ashes are my body's end. O mind, remember Brahman, the self. O mind, remember your past deeds. Remember the Brahman. Brahman here in the self, here it means the self. So sometimes the Brahman means the individual self, sometimes the Brahman means the supreme soul, the supreme self, the supreme soul. So why we have to remember the past deeds? Because we know why we are suffering. It is because of the past deeds what we had performed. O God Agni, lead us to felicity. You know all our deeds. Preserve us from the deceitful attraction of sin. To you we offer our salutations, and again yet again. So here the Agni, the light, the sun means the self. The Isha, the God, the creator. So one is the creator of the universe, another is the creator of this body, one who organizes the function of this body. So this Isha ends with salutation to the self, the God which means the individual self, at the same time the God which means the supreme soul. Okay, thank you.